Good morning, Grandmother Flordemayo. I'm so grateful to be with you and to be speaking to you today. My name is Kim Langbecker, and I'm the Executive Director of Sacred Fire Foundation. And Grandmother Flordemayo has graciously given us an opportunity to hear some of her blessings and her teachings. And I know you'd like to start today with a prayer, so please.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so very much. Beloved Mother, beloved Creator, beloved beauty of the sacred moment, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come together at this beautiful, beautiful time, beloved Mother. This very, very auspicious moment, beloved Mother, Father. It is the day today in which we honor the corn, beloved goddess of the sacred corn, the four-colored corn, beloved Creator, and the rainbow corn. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful day, for bringing us together, because on this day, beloved Mother, we think about all of us as your children, like the little kernels on the corn. We are all together, united. It is to remember that humanity needs to come together, to unite in the name of love, in the name of compassion, in the name of peace. Beloved, help us as we are your children here on this earth. Us, the four races in the four direction, the red, the yellow, the black, beloved Creator, the white, and the rainbow. The rainbow is each and every one of us that have come together. Let's keep that hope going, that we continue in the path of the future, walking as we are standing right now in the middle of the crossroads, that we acknowledge all of these sacred colors and become the beauty of the rainbow, accepting each other, loving each other, acknowledging each other, embracing each other, and knowing that there's no way, there's just no other way. We can't go back to the way things were a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago. We got to move forward. Moving forward, walking in with the rainbow, the beauty of the rainbow, the multicolored rainbow, beloved Mother. This is what you have chosen for us, that we become that beautiful, beautiful rainbow light. At this very, very moment, this beautiful, beautiful day, on the day in which we celebrate you, beloved Mother. And we think about us at this very moment, in a state of germination, beloved Mother, as we will grow and bloom and become that you had wished for us, beloved Mother. Because we are your seeds, your children, and you are our Mother. In the name of all of the beauty of the colors of the rainbow, beloved Mother, in the name of the beauty of all that moves like the beauty of the rainbow, the beauty of the mystery, allowing this beautiful light to encircle us around the globe, and for us to reach out and touch the rainbow and grab the rainbow and embrace the rainbow. Bring it into your hearts so that we can reawaken as a new race, as an all new beings in this beautiful, beautiful day, beloved Mother, the day of the corn, the day of the goddess of the corn, the day of Kaneli. Thank you, beloved Mother. Thank you, beloved Goddess. And thank you, beloved children of the rainbow.
Thank you, Grandmother. That was, I think, a message of hope that we all need to hear, that we all are looking for in this particularly challenging time of transformation. You've spent your life traveling around the world, offering prayers and blessings and teachings in gatherings and at meetings. And I think that there might be some people out there who are curious how you found yourself on this path, that may not know about how it is that you came to be where you are now as an elder. Can you please share a little bit about your path and for those that might not know, how the challenges that you faced also along the way, because you carry a lot with you.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. I like to share with everybody that I'm an immigrant from Central America. And I came here into the United States, into New York City. This is where I learned to speak the language. But in Central America, my mom realized at a very, very young age that I had very, very vivid visions and dreams. And so she encouraged me. And every day she would ask me, she would say, "Child, tell me about your dream. What did you dream today?" And so I would not only share with my mom, but then I would have my brothers and sisters. And so I would every morning have this this great way of sharing with the family. And that's pretty much how it started. And so my mom gave me the encouragement, and my brothers and my sisters gave me the encouragement. And so I receive awakened visions, which means that it could be like something that, in the way that I am right now, speaking to you with my eyes open, I might be able to see something in front of me. So this is an awakened vision. I could be perhaps maybe asleep in the night, and I would have that kind of a vision where I am in a sleep state. And sometimes I receive messages by hearing. And the beauty of the way that I see is when I close my eyes with permission, because we're always asking permission of to be able to see something. Like when we pray, I ask this inner permission, and I say, "Beloved Mother, give me the permission. I would like to speak to you. I want to have a dialogue," because prayer to me is a dialogue between myself and the beautiful beloved Mother. And so I ask for permission, and when I close my eyes, then the magic of color kind of comes in. Mm. And I see multicolors, like rainbow colors. And so the colors have a vibration. And the vibration I could hear in my ear. And so when I pray, I hear it. And that's why my prayers are like always so incredibly different. I could start roughly in the beginning just saying, beloved mother, beloved father, beloved creator. Those are the beginning steps of my prayer. Thank you for this beautiful day. And I go back in my human mind and I think about the Mayan calendar. What is the day today? Today's the day of Canil. So in Canil, I acknowledge the goddess of the corn. And so I pray to her, I call her. And so when I call her, I see her in this beautiful, beautiful light, this rainbow light that has the capacity to transmit sound. And so this sound, I hear it. And when I hear it, then I repeat it. I repeat it to you. And that's the way that it happens to me. But Kim, I want to share with everybody that when I was 17 years old, I was already here in the United States. My boyfriend, who is now my husband, he noticed that I really missed Central America a lot. And he said to me, I want to invite you to the Bronx Botanical Gardens in New York City. And he said to me, in the botanical gardens, he said they have a lot of plants and a lot of animals and birds from Central America. You might be interested in seeing that. So we went to the botanical gardens and we were walking hand in hand. And in the garden, there are these huge glass domes that like big greenhouses where they house these plants. And so my boyfriend then opened the door and I put 1 foot inside this dome. And right away, I heard the invisible voice. I say invisible because at that moment, I was not sure who was speaking to me, if it was the plants talking to me or if it was my beloved mother talking to me. And I heard a voice, and the voice said to me, daughter, look, this is the future of humanity. And I became alarmed because at this particular moment, I could feel the rush of energy of the voice, and it went through my head and it started to go through my body. And I could not stop shaking from the amount of energy that was moving through my body. And I couldn't speak. I could not get the words out. And my boyfriend said to me, are you all right? And I could not stop shaking from, just the magnitude of energy. And so very carefully, he kind of pulled me aside and he walked with me a little bit away from the door because there were people behind me trying to get in. As the way that it is in big cities, there's always a line behind you. And so he took me aside and he put his arms around me and he started holding me. And I was just shaking and shaking. And he whispered to me, he said to me, are you all right? And I kept going like this, like, no. And then it took a little bit of, it took a little while before I could actually speak. And I was speaking in broken words. I couldn't say the words. And I explained to him what happened to me. And so I know that it is the beloved mother because she says to me, daughter. And sometimes she'll say to me, child, because we are children of the holy ones. We're children of our ancestors. We're children of God. We're children of the heart of the heavens and the heart of the earth. All of us, with our beautiful colors and the way that we dress, we look like beautiful colored flowers to God walking on the earth here. So we are children. All the animals are children. Everything is children because we're growing here and we mature here on the earth. So we're children. And so it's such a sweet, sweet word. And this is the way that she calls me. Now, the second time that I heard this beautiful, beautiful cosmic voice, I was already married and I had had my second child. And perhaps maybe I am like 25 years old. And I have an awakened vision. And in my living room, I saw this beautiful, beautiful light. It was kind of like the shape of an egg, like an oblong kind of light. And inside the light, there was like a speck that kind of opened up. And inside was the goddess of the corn. It was just an enormous, enormous ear of corn that had a human head. And out of the husk, she had her little arms, and she had two little braids, not little, but they were like two braids on the side that came down to her waist. And she was beautiful, this young woman, maybe 17, maybe 20, but she was just beautiful. And out of the crown, the corn husk were little stars of light. And it started to move until it showered her. It just came all around her. And I am there watching this unfold. And she became this beautiful, beautiful being. And she said to me, she said, daughter, I appear to the humans when the earth is in turmoil. And I became shocked. And I could not comprehend, what does that mean when the earth is in turmoil? And I started to cry. But you see, I'm not of the Western mind. So for me, I don't have the capacity when I have a vision like this to go into dialogue and say, tell me more. Because that was the whole message. And so that message I took into my heart and I prayed with it from the time that I was 25. Around the same time, in my 20s, I met my teacher's teacher. His name was Don Adrian. And he was known as the Mayan scholar. And he translated the Popol Vuh, the Book of Creation, from Maya Quiche into Spanish. And he was traveling around the United States with other elders in this little yellow bus. And I believe that it was called 4 Arrows. And there were many, many elders in that bus, like Philip Deere. I remember he was there. Muskoke elder. Other elders, too much right now to mention all the elders, but that little bus. And when I met Don Adrian, I translated for him at the community college in Glens Falls. And Don Adrian's message to the world, because it was a cultural exchange that these elders had come from the West, from California. They traveled across the United States and came in and landed in New York. And so the elders spoke about all of their prophecies. And the Mayan elders spoke about the meeting of the condor and the eagle, bringing North America, South America together in the center of the Americas, which is really the heart of the center of the Americas is in Guatemala. And so he spoke about that. So I am in my 20s and I hear about this, and he was just this elegant speaker. He was so beautiful. And he told me, he said, daughter, you have to come home. You have to come home and learn more about your people. So this was the beginning of my journey. He acknowledged my visions and dreams. I spoke to him quite a bit about that. And later on, as I become a mother, not yet a grandmother, I come to the Southwest. I have always done my work. I've always had visions and dreams. I have always continued to speak about them, holding them in my heart, repeating them to people so that I don't forget about them, and to remind people of what was going on and what I heard from the elders. And so I come to this time, right now, Kim, where I continued from the time that I met Don Alejandro in the 90s. And it was around that time that I started to then travel, pretty much in the 4 directions. And I became Don Alejandro's student, and we traveled together to many, many, many places around the globe, and certainly around the United States and the Americas. And he initiated the promotion of the gathering of the condor and the eagle. And it was in my travels that I also heard that there was an elder from Canada in 1945 by the name of Gray Owl. And he was traveling from north of Canada into North America and as far as Mexico, letting people know that the Americas have to come together in this way of unity. So Don Alejandro, when Don Adrian passed away, Don Alejandro took over Don Adrian's mission of bringing people together. Don Alejandro inherited Don Adrian's walking shoes. And I inherited those walking shoes. So I have them in my altar. And these are the shoes that the elders walked throughout the Americas. And so my journey started quite some time ago. And in 1995, Don Alejandro did the first gathering of the condor and the eagle right in the heart of Guatemala. And in 1997 was the gathering in South America in the Amazon. And so we met everybody in the South. And from the South, Don Alejandro gave myself, Patricio Dominguez, Cloud Eagle, Kaya Montiarshan. Kaya Montiarshan was the lady that bought the little yellow bus. And myself, Flordemayo, the mandate to bring the South and the center in North America. And we were able to bring the condor of the eagle and the condor and the eagle together in North America, but we had to do it before the year 2000. So we did it in September of 1999. It was a really, really big gathering in Nambe.
And I've not heard that whole story before, so thank you for sharing that. But I think what I'd love for you to explain a little bit is the coming together of the condor and the eagle. As I understand it, the eagle representing the north and the mind, and the condor representing the south and the heart. Is that correct? Is that what that coming together looks like?
Well, Kim, I'm going to answer your question this way, okay? When we traveled into Central America, there was an explanation about the center, and the center being the heart, and the heart being responsible for bringing, this is the land of the Quetzal in Guatemala. Quetzal is the beautiful, beautiful bird that has these beautiful, beautiful, they're like emerald green feathers that are about 3 feet long. It's also known as like the bird of paradise in Central America. And the Quetzal is very, very sacred. And the feathers, sometimes they're used for adornment for the chief. And so the Quetzal is very, very magical to the Maya. And so what I heard was that it was at the nest of this beautiful, beautiful bird that the eagle will come at the heart, and the condor would come to the heart, where the hearts would merge, where the Americas would come together, the north, the south, in the center. And Don Alejandro did that. There were people from South America that came from all over South America, and also from the north, not only from reservations, but also Pueblo. Not only Pueblo, but also unregistered tribes came. So it's quite a group of people, and they acknowledged that they had to come together. It's part of the prophecy, not only the Mayan prophecy, not only the prophecy of the South, and not only the prophecy of the North, but it is a prophecy that people come together and become one. And so this happened in 1999 because it said in the prophecy that we had to do it before the year 2000. And just in time, we did it in September through the help of so many people that supported this movement of coming together. You know, Kim, we could have a vision, but we have to put the word out there, because the word, what it does is that it embraces all of us all over the globe in the heart. We become aware of it. Perhaps maybe some of us are dreaming about it in other countries, in the islands, you know, far away. And we have to speak about it, because humanity picks up these tiny little pieces of the big puzzle. And it's for us humans to bring all these tiny little pieces together and put it into one big picture for humanity. It doesn't belong to one person or one nation. It belongs to all of us.
I think that's a message that is especially important to hear now, as we're going through this change and this transformation on the planet, and trying to navigate that and find new ways of living that perhaps are actually rooted in old ways of living, what the ancestors have taught us, whatever nation we're talking about, whatever community we're talking about. I wanted to also ask you about, you had a very particular vision that came to you leading up to the 2018 Parliament of World Religions in Toronto. And your friend Diane Longboat was very instrumental in organizing the indigenous presence at the Parliament of World Religions. Can you share a little bit about that vision?
Yes. The Parliament happened in the fall, but just before then, the first week of August, I was at a gathering of Circle is called, in Cloudcroft, New Mexico. And I received this vision, and I saw myself in New Jersey looking at downtown Manhattan. And it's this beautiful, beautiful kind of city scene from across the Hudson River. And I was there praying to the water, just praying in the vision. And I started to gaze at the buildings. And before I knew it, I started to see one of the bigger buildings, like whichever is the tallest building in New York City, just kind of come down like that. And then it went poof, and you could see the smoke of debris just coming out. I became alarmed, and I started to pray even more. I started to shout to the mother. And then I saw another building kind of do this and go poof. And I started to scream to the universe. And I said, beloved mother, what is going on? And then I see another building go poof. And it was just like a domino effect with the buildings. And I was crying and crying and crying and crying in the vision. And I could not speak anymore, because you can't cry and speak, because it's only a murmur. And I could not, the scene was just too difficult. I woke up and I was like in this state of grace. I couldn't speak to anybody. I walked around the grounds and I prayed and I prayed and walked around the grounds and had some water. And that particular day I was doing a talk at this gathering of circles. And I said to everybody after my prayer, I said, I have to share with you that I had a vision this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, between 2 and 4. And so I revealed the vision. And many, many people felt, because I'm walking around with this energy. And I was able to deliver it with all the emotion that I felt in the vision. And so when I got to the Parliament, I had the opportunity to do, it was not in the program, but I believe that it was someone was running late, and I was asked if I could go, because there were people sitting in the audience waiting for someone. And so they said, and Diana said to me, Grandma Flordemayo, would you be able to spend a little bit of time there speaking? And I said to her, can I share about this vision that I had a couple of months ago? And she said, of course, of course. So I did that. I delivered the message, and it was like a participation. And many people took the mic, and they had their own personal interpretation. But I knew in my heart that it wasn't that. And I would say, no, I would say like that, no, but I wasn't being rude. But the interpretation was right here in my heart. But these were people that came from the four directions, and they're interpreting it in their own way. But I knew in my heart what the interpretation was.
Are you able to share that with us?
It's really, really difficult, Kim. This is the first time that I've been able to share this publicly. And the interpretation is something is going to happen in the world market of money. It's really, really hard for me to even think about it because, I am not an academic person. I can't translate my visions in this, in a way that perhaps maybe a bank person or somebody that deals with money can interpret it. That's not where I'm at. That's not me. But I can only speak in my simple terms in the way that I speak. But that's what I saw. I saw that the buildings that fell were like banks, like city banks. When you go into a city, you see the bigger buildings in the city, they belong to they have like the big writing on the top, and they'll say bank so-and-so or so-and-so bank on it. I know in New Mexico, I think our biggest building belongs to one of the banks, in downtown Albuquerque. But that's what I saw, but I could not speak about it. And I don't know what is going to happen other than that it has to be redone. It has to be restructured. It like collapsed and then it has to be brought up. So we have to be very mindful. I'm being mindful about it. And perhaps maybe humanity at this incredible, incredible crossroads that we're in right now. I've been talking about humanity at the crossroads for quite a couple of years already.
Yes, you have.
And so, here we are. We are in the midst of this right now. And we can't go back to the way things were a week ago, a month ago, a day ago, an hour ago. Everything is changing, just changing so rapidly. And so we have to think about this.
I read something earlier today that I thought it was a much longer article that I won't share, but this particular person that wrote it was really talking about the sacredness of this time. And I would imagine for some people it's very difficult because there's the practical day-to-day, how am I going to put food on my table? How am I going to take care of my kids? How am I going to manage working out of my house and my kids are running around and I've got to teach them and all of those things. But that if we can sort of come to a place where we stop, that we start to look around and we see that everything else in nature, in the natural world, has responded in a beautiful way, in a sacred way, and it continues. I've happened to see a picture of, I think it was a herd of elk running across a football field in Colorado, and there's been pictures of all sorts of gatherings of animals, and it's springtime, so there's new life coming forward. How can we look at something like what's happening and look at it as something that is sacred? as opposed to feeding into it with the fear that is a natural human response.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fear is a natural human response. But I'm going to remind everybody, Kim, that we as humans are children of these four sacred elements. The plants have no idea what's going on. You know, they know that it's getting warmer and it's time for them to grow and to bloom, to become green. It's that period of time for them. What is it about us that we can't relate? We've forgotten how to relate to what's outside. The birds are chirping. They're looking for little twigs. They're making their little nest because they're getting ready to lay their little eggs and take care of their little babies. Everything is moving like this. The days are getting warmer. But for us, sometime, somewhere, we forgot that we are children of the earth. We're dependent to the sunlight. We're dependent to the water. We're dependent to the air to live. But what have we done in that forgottenness? We polluted the air. We polluted the water. We polluted the earth. We can't even see the sunlight out there. That's not nurturing us. What is it that we have done? Perhaps maybe we didn't do it individually, but humanity did. 100 years ago, 150 years ago, I don't know. But right now, we're in the same, as Grandma Agnes would say, we're in the same licky canoe right now. We're in the same boat right now. All of us humans. It doesn't matter where we are, whether we're in the north, south, east, or west. We're all in the same boat. And the only thing that we have right now is prayer. It's the prayer. Because we have been taken down into our hands and knees. This mind doesn't understand what's going on. What understands it is the heart. This is where the truth is. We need to get out of the mind, walk those couple of inches from the mind into the heart. We are in a state of fear because we don't understand that if we shout out and say, beloved Creator, beloved Mother, help us. And we go into that place of prayer, of dialogue. Beloved Spirit of the sacred breath, beloved Spirit of the waters, Grandfather Sun, Spirit of the fire, Mother Earth. Why is it that we can't do that? Or why is it that we can't say, I'm so sorry. Look at what we have done to each other. It wasn't one, it was all. It took a combination of all. We're in this together right now. And we have to form circles of prayer. And we have to do this in our own way. We start with ourselves. We bring our families, our partners, we bring them in and say, we have to pray. We have to pray for our family. We have to pray for our children. Come, let's pray together. Do it in your own language, in your own way, in the way that you do it. Because prayer is prayer. And when you do that, you bring your neighborhood together and pray together. Bring your community together. Bring your town together. Bring your state together. Bring your country together and spread it all over the world. Because if we do not pray, nothing is going to change. Because if we call upon the holy ones, the spirit of our ancestors, to help us, they come. The angels will come and they will help us because we're in dire need right now. And the only reason we have that fear is because we don't understand that the power of prayer is so powerful. We could heal ourselves. We could call on the holy ones, call on the angels, call on the creator to help us to heal. Perhaps maybe we're going through this pandemic, some of us right now, but we could say, beloved mother, I'm learning my lesson. I'm so sorry. You know, heal us. And not only heal us, but we need to heal this mind and we need to heal the heart. The baby right here, this baby is the golden baby, the golden child. And when I received the vision of the golden child, the way that this baby was able to manifest by me saying a prayer. And you know what the prayer was? The prayer is this: you are love. There's nothing but love. Love is all that there is. That's us. If we could express to each other that much. Think of someone and say, I love you. Think of another person and say, I love you. Think of the water and say, I love you. Think of the earth and say, I love you. Think of the sky and say, I love you. The heavens and the earth, I love you. How many times can we do this? We have to go into prayer. We have to keep putting the word out. And these prayers become light. The vibration that comes out of our mouth, whether it's here or whether it's a thought from the heart, it becomes light. And before you know it, we bring and make this circle of light around the globe. And we bring everybody together, everybody that's afraid, everybody that doesn't know and doesn't understand. We don't all have this capacity to understand, but we could do it through the invisible. And when you see that it could be done, then we become true believers. And this is where I'm at. I believe because I've been experiencing this all of my life. And I know what happens through the power of prayer. And that's all we have right now is the prayer. And what do you say when you pray? Exactly that. I'm sorry. I love you. Forgive me. Bring in the compassion that you have and honor that. Put it out there. We have been called to be isolated. We're in a monastic moment. We're forced to go into prayer. We can't even go outside. So what else are we going to do? And so the invisible beings are saying, hey, humans, you got to get together on this and get going. You know, I mean, like how many times or how else are they going to show us this? They have brought us down to our hands and knees. Mm-hmm. It's that moment right now. And that's all we could do is pray. Pray for our loved ones. Pray for our children. Pray for our moms and dads. Pray for all of those in the home, outside of the home, in our community, and just bring that circle of of your concern, bring it into your prayer. Read your holy books, or allow yourself for your heart to speak. You can say it in silence, or you can speak it out loud. It doesn't matter. Just do it.
I think that this message that you just shared about prayer is something that for many people is helpful, because sometimes people associate prayer with religion. They don't know if they're doing it right, or if they should be doing it a certain way, and they get hung up on the semantics of what it is to be in prayer. And as you just said, it is asking for forgiveness and saying I love you, and showing compassion. And I want to thank you, because I think that that's a very important message for people to hear, that prayer is different for every single person, and it's very simple. And we're, as you said, what else are we going to do? we have the time to do it now. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it very much. I think it would be very helpful for people to hear that message. I want to talk a little bit about the seeds. You have spent your life, and your life's work is around preserving and conserving the heirloom and sacred seeds. And I know you have been doing sacred seed bundles. Do you have them there?
Yes. I reached out to get them.
Thank you. These are your seed bundles that you've been making.
Yes. I have been busy making all kinds of little bundles for boys and girls. I received a vision, and in the vision, the beloved mother showed me how to make these little bundles. And she said to me, she said, daughter, make these bundles for every child that is being born, and remind the parents that these seeds are also children. Remind the parents to teach the children that seeds need to be taken care of. And so both the children become involved with seeds, and the parents keep reminding the children that they were born with a little bundle of seeds for the future. So these are the seeds for the future that I make. And in here, we have the three sisters. These are in the Southwest plants that we food that we grow. It is the pumpkin, the corn, and the beans. And they're known as the three sisters because they kind of help each other when they are growing. And so we plant them together. So this little container are my sacred little seed bundles that I make. And I also keep them in this sweet little gourd that I travel with. And the gourd has also a golden inside, just like the baby. And so these are my little seeds. And I've been seeds out all over the world, because I received this vision about 10 years ago. Yeah. And also many of the grandmothers that I get together with, we get together and we make little seed bundles for everybody. And I give them away as I travel.
That's wonderful. I also wanted to make sure that we talk a little bit before we go, because I want to honor your time, and you've given us some amazing offerings today, and I'm so very grateful. But for anyone who may not know that you have an organization in Estancia called The Path that is dedicated to preserving and conserving these seeds. And if you'd like to learn more, you can go to followthegoldenpath.org, or you can also visit Grandmother Flordemayo's website at grandmotherflordemayo.com. The Path is on Facebook. There's a YouTube channel. There's lots of ways for people to reach out and find ways to support the work that you do. And you are not traveling right now, obviously. And so there are so many people that we're planning on seeing you this year, later on this year. And I know that they're missing that opportunity. But is there anything that, before we close, that you'd like to share with not only the folks that you were planning on seeing, but just with us in general? And then I'll let you close with the prayer.
I'd like to say thank you to everybody that I read all of your messages that you send to me, and I hold you in prayer for those that request prayers. And for those that request absent healing, I try my best to honor everybody. And I just want to thank you and say, I'm here and I am praying with you. And I know that for some of us, we're going to meet in the dream time, because I do a lot of traveling at night. I travel around the globe. That's what I do. And I thank you so much. I am so honored for the relationship that we have, because this is what it's all about. It's all of us coming together. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grandmother. I send the same back to you, and I'm so grateful for our friendship and for your time today. And thank you. And I'll have you go ahead with your prayer.
Yeah. Beloved Mother, Father, beloved beauty of this beautiful, beautiful light, Mother, thank you for the reminder, beloved Creator, that we as humans have the capacity to think in a way that it makes us very rigid. I see that you put in front of me this box. And we as humans need to move in clockwise, like a beautiful circle of light, to get rid of those rigid corners so that we don't get hung up in our everyday life, not to get stuck. Beloved Mother, this is what you're showing me. Let's get rid of those corners. Let's make the journey smooth. The light that you're showing me in the future, beloved Mother, I see it. Let's all hang on and keep on moving. Beloved Mother, in the beautiful way that you show us, there is the light. We're moving towards the light. Each and every one of us in our own way. Thank you for the reminder, beloved Mother, not to be so strict on ourselves, not to be so hard on ourselves, to just let things go. Allow ourselves to move smoothly. Beloved Creator, this is what you're saying. I see that. Thank you, beloved Mother. And I see the beauty of your green light. All of this is going to bring us into a place of complete healing. Each and every one of us will move into this healing light. Thank you, beloved Creator. Thank you, beloved beauty, as you, the way that you showed to me, that we will be coming bloom. We will bloom like beautiful flowers. We will reawaken and be these beautiful, beautiful beings. Thank you, beloved Mother, for the way that you show me these things. At this particular moment, beloved Creator, Mother, Father, to hold that in my heart and to know that it will all be okay. We're going through a learning process. Thank you, beloved Mother. It is like a book that we are writing. We're rewriting a book. I see that, beloved Mother. Thank you in the way that you show me. And we will leave this for the future generations. Thank you, beloved. In the name of the beauty of the sacred, beloved Creator, I love you. I love you.